Ever feel like you're just stuck waiting for something to happen, for some kind of sign?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, today we're diving deep into the idea of patience.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we've got some amazing source material to work with. Stories from the Bible
Okay.
about some pretty well-known figures, and I think you'll recognize them, Joseph, Sarah, and Abraham.
I've definitely heard those names before, yeah.
Yeah, so, they all have these powerful stories about waiting and what we can learn from
Yeah,
them.
right. Yeah, so not just waiting around, but like waiting with a purpose.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
what's that whole divine timing thing all about?
That's what I'm interested in finding out.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start with Joseph. I mean, his story is just incredible. Talk about a roller coaster ride.
Oh, yeah. Totally betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, thrown in prison. You'd think he'd be completely broken.
Right. I mean, I'd be furious.
Totally. But he never gives up hope. He seems to have this incredible resilience.
Like, he always knows there's something bigger going on.
Yeah, like he trusts that even though things look bad, God has a plan.
That's a pretty powerful lesson. Right.
Ah.
I mean, we all face setbacks in life,
Oh, yeah, all the time.
but it's how we respond to them that really matters.
Exactly. Do we let those setbacks define us, or do we learn and grow from them, like Joseph?
Exactly. And speaking of setbacks, let's move on to Sarah. I mean, talk about patience.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Waiting decades to have a child.
Dealing with societal pressures, doubts, and then finally having a baby at 90 years old.
It's hard to even imagine that kind of faith and patience.
Especially in our world, right? Where everything is so instant.
It's like we expect everything right now.
Exactly. So where does that leave the whole idea of divine timing?
Right. Is it just about waiting passively, or is it more about actively pursuing our goals, but also trusting in a bigger plan?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's where Abraham's story comes in.
Okay. Yeah.
He's promised to be the father of a nation, but his journey is full of twists and turns, years of waiting trials, and even moments of doubt.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Right. He even makes some questionable choices along the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, clearly struggling with that tension between human impatience and trusting in divine timing. But he never fully gives up on the promise.
Wow. So even when it feels impossible, he keeps going?
Exactly. And that seems to be the common thread in all these stories. Facing incredible challenges, but never losing sight of that bigger picture.
So like a faith that's deeper than just the circumstances.
Exactly. So now I want to ask you, have you ever felt like you were in a waiting period
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
where you're wondering if your own miracle will ever come or if you'll ever get through a certain challenge? I
Absolutely.
think we all have.
Yeah.
And these stories remind us that even in those moments, there's something bigger at work, a deeper power.
And maybe we're being called to just trust a little bit more.
Trust in that plan that's bigger than what we can see.
I like that.
So we've explored the stories of Joseph, Sarah, and Abraham. Three very different journeys, but all connected by this idea of patience and faith in the face of really tough circumstances.
And they teach us that trusting in divine timing can lead to unexpected blessings.
Even when things don't make sense in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. If divine timing is real, how does that change our approach to life, to our daily decisions? Does it mean we just sit back and wait, or do we move forward with a new kind of confidence and purpose?
Something to think about, isn't it?
Definitely food for thought as you continue on your journey.
Yeah, I like that.